Possibly bad.
And 3, 2, 1. Oh,
Welcome
wait,
back
what? It's wrong button!
You know we're putting this in. Welcome back to on the
Oh,
what the
shit.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds.
We're learning how to.
I don't think you're out of bounds. Yeah, no.
Okay, thank God.
Hey, you didn't die. I thought for sure you were dead as soon as you long jumped off that
Might
thing.
have pressed R1.
I like how you also
L1.
could have hit L1 like once you fell down there and you didn't think about it. But yeah, similar to the oxygen, you could see the jetpack runs out of stuff pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's
So
not
you have to
obviously not as
constantly look
fast
for
as oxygen,
stations
but
to fill it up.
yep. But there's
Yeah,
a lot
it
of
doesn't
stations. Yeah.
Is there one up here?
Nope.
Oh, is it?
No, I think.
It actually.
Yeah, I was like, I think you hit a ceiling. So now you're down to 10%. Yeah. Wee. Once you're at the bottom. No, okay, go back. No, I'm making you do this. You go back up there. You get as high as you can, and you hyper strike, motherfucker. You can't
Yeah, be that weak about it.
You can't act like you're gonna do it and then not do it. Come on. No, what are you doing?
It won't let me.
Oh, really?
It actually would not let me.
Oh. Well, never mind. That's lame.
That kind of sucks.
Okay. Well, so you need to find 20 more brains. I'll just that's the path you went down, so I would just go straight out from the jetpack. Yeah, straight out from there. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta get those brains for an info bot.
See, let me do it from higher up there. That was weird.
That wasn't really higher up though than where you were before. It's probably a certain distance off the ground before you can do it. Out of proton drums.
That's fine. That's what they were for.
Did you see that thing in the? Oh, it's the shadow on the left. There you go.
Oh, he's so big.
Yeah. Kind of looks like a brain. Oh shit. Nice. Oh wow, you're taking out like a quarter of its health with each one of those. There you go.
Say, yeah, I didn't
yeah,
need the
definitely
full thing.
didn't need all of them. So that gave you
So that's three of
brains.
The 20. Okay. So now we have to fight enemies that are tied to that shit.
Yeah. I think there are also just brains still sitting around in places, but yeah, take a gander.
Damn, if you ever take 2 seconds to listen to the music, it's really good in this game.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we were talking about it for the outros that you guys have definitely already heard for this series and stuff.
Right.
That the Ratchet and Clank series has good music, but no it's all background music. It's all not very often. It often doesn't have a strong melody to it because it's not trying to outshine anything else about the game.
Right. It lets kind of just the gameplay and the sound effects and everything.
I was gonna say because the sound design for the weapons is so good that I think that they want to let that shine, and then the music in this game and all the Ratchet and Clank games is really good, but it's just music that more fits as the background track to a world or to a planet,
right,
than to something you would hum, something that is recognizable.
Been neglecting this weapon. Do you have a, well, I shouldn't say at least favorite. I don't know if you had a weapon that you use less. Oh gosh.
I honestly don't remember all the weapons in this game enough to answer. So I don't know. What the fuck is he saying? What?
I missed it.
Some kind of tongue twister joke, I'm sure. All right, so you found one of those tripads.
Yeah. Was there some back there?
Well, they usually have big power cables coming out of them, so.
Ah.
Yeah, I was like, so if you want to follow the cable. Yeah. There you go. I like how fast you move horizontally with the jetpack along the ground. Ooh. Oh yeah, so you had to free the thing. Okay. Already almost up to oh, I think a lot of those hit a tree or something.
Yeah, I think half of them did.
All right. Yeah, you're already up to, once you kill this thing, you'll be up to 10 out of 20 brains.
Man, it was nice when shit didn't hit a tree.
Well, And now he's far away, so yeah. You got this. Also, don't forget that you have a jetpack.
Oh yeah.
So you could be flying at it and shooting. Obviously, it's like difficult to do, but like a little more difficult than just aiming down to 15% on that jetpack. Don't want to run out over the lava. Ooh. Nice. Yeah, get that health. I thought for sure when you got to 1 HP that you would.
Oh!
Yeah, well, that.
What?
I was about to say, I thought for sure you would die when you got to 1 HP, and, well, I wasn't wrong.
Here we were. Just had to get some hope.
Had
to get some hope first.
Yeah, exactly. Had to get some false hope. Uh-oh. Oh. Mix up the L and the R there a little bit.
Well, man, there's a lot of buttons.
Oh, so this time it cleared out all the enemies for you.
Yeah.
Weird how sometimes it does
like
that.
You said, maybe it's a dynamic checkpoint system.
It could be.
It's like, you suck shit. What do you think of dynamic checkpoint systems in gaming?
Or like, I'll make it even to like dynamic difficulty overall,
I guess so,
or something.
yeah.
I like it.
Resident Evil 2 does it as well, like the new one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Where it'll be like, I don't know exactly what it does, but I think it's kind of a, oh, you're having a hard time with this, you've died a lot. Let's go ahead and just, like, put more health and stuff along the way.
Yeah, I like it more if a game presents you with options.
Right.
That you can choose to use or not use, than just doing it automatically.
Right.
Because it's like, often, I don't want... I don't know. There's some games where I would maybe want that, especially if I'm just like, I just hate this type of, like, I hate this mini game within this game or whatever, right? Like, I hate this section, this type of gameplay in this otherwise great game.
Right.
That's somewhere where I would maybe want it. But then, like, if it's just a tough fight or a tough combat encounter, like... Whoa, damn, he like really blew up Zircon. I want to feel a better reward from like not having the difficulty lowered for me, you know?
Yeah.
And that's not the same thing as saying that a game shouldn't have customizability for difficulty, because like everybody's going to have a different version of what is hard and what is the standard level of difficulty for them. Ooh,
right.
You got them low, but you are low as well. Nice. Like, that was a big thing for Sekiro. That was a big discussion for Sekiro, is like, should Sekiro have an easy mode or whatever?
Sure.
And I'm always of the opinion of, like, it's good to have customizable options in games.
At that point, just have an easy, a normal, a hard.
No, I specifically not just a difficulty.
Oh, I see.
Select.
Yeah.
I think difficulty selects are actually often one of the worst ways.
The laziest ways to do it.
Yeah. Well, like, if you can at least change the difficulty as you're going, then that's a lot better. Because it makes, like, if you pick a difficulty at the beginning of a game, you have zero context whatsoever for what that means.
What's easy? This game, you were like, you can play hard.
This game, you had me, basically, to be there, like, to give you context, right? But otherwise, if you're just going into a game for the first time, what does hard mean? What does normal mean? And if you're locked into that from the beginning, it's like, well, that fucking sucks, you know? I'd almost rather the game not give you different options in that case, you know, and just lock you into the standard mode first, and then when you beat the game, you can get more options or something.
Sure.
But like, the better thing is have it allow you to change difficulty on the fly. That's a really good thing. One of the ways people use.
So you continue your campaign, but just admit, okay, I need to lower this,
or increase it, or it's not difficult enough. You know, like one of the ways that Spider-Man did it. One of the ways that people use difficulty select in Spider-Man a lot is when they were 100%ing crimes or just grinding out for certain tokens or something, they would just lower the difficulty because it's like, okay, I've done these.
Right.
At this point, I'm just kind of grinding, so I want to lower this. And I'm like, that makes sense. That's totally valid. But I think it's better. I think it is always good for a game to have options of like, let me tweak this thing about the game. Let me tweak this other thing. Like the fact, again, Spider-Man does pretty good in this regard. So like the fact that you can turn off QTEs, or you can specifically just change the type of QTEs that involve mashing. You can change it to where you can hold the button instead. Those are the kinds of good things because they're accessibility options for people who have trouble mashing for whatever reason, whether it be a physical disability or just in general, they've just never been a masher or whatever, you know? I always think it's good to have those kinds of options in games.
It always blew my mind when there was like a required mashing segment. Banjo-Tooie that I just played for the first time this year. There's this segment that like I got first try. I'm not trying to like brag or anything, but because I've been in the speedrunning community for years, where like one thing you just develop naturally while being in the speedrunning community is you develop a mashing technique. And I feel like the fact that stuff, like you have to have a pretty good mash to beat this presumably child's game as a child, where you had no, I was pressing shit with like just my thumb. There was no good mashing technique for me. I don't know. I feel like it would have been better if there was like some.
That's not quite locking on to him, I don't think. You might have to fly out to him. Yeah, see, all those just missed. Well, he's still pretty far. There you go. Yeah, see how the health bar on the right side popped back up? I think when that's not there, he's not really fighting you yet. Oh. Out of ammo. Oh, almost fell in that center.
Oh, what's up, Deke?
Nice. Uh-oh.
Oh, I got shit on.
Yeah, you did. I was saying, I think this is where it kind of, there's a bit of a difficulty spike. What?
We're back here.
Yeah, but you still have 12 brains. I think it tends to checkpoint you near those things a little bit. But like, yeah, this enemy that you killed here is going to be gone still. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's good to have options for stuff. Here's a thing that I think literally every fucking game should have, and it's really obnoxious when it doesn't, are rebind options.
Yes, 100%.
To change.
Cameras should always be able to, you can flip the axes on them.
But you should always be able to change your button mappings, not just in PC games, but also on controllers and stuff. Anything that involves motion controls should be able to be disabled if need be.
Right.
Fuck you, Nintendo, about that shit. And I'm somebody who actually like tends to not hate motion controls in games. Like I actually don't hate.
God damn it, Mario Odyssey.
I don't hate them a lot. I didn't even hate them in Mario Odyssey, but if I were speedrunning it all the time, I would want to turn them off.
Right.
But also just motion controls are another thing where like that's an accessibility concern.
Alright, so from this platform...
Yeah, you could probably just fight him from here. There you go. Yeah, that's... I don't know. It sucks how many games don't have the ability to rebind buttons.
Right.
Because it's also something that is often... And this has been said by many like video game developers. It's not just me speaking as a programmer or whatever. Damn, he does not like you getting close, apparently.
No, he does not.
Is that rebinds are one of those things that are really pretty trivial to include, oftentimes, if you include them from the beginning.
Right.
If you include that kind of stuff really early on, like when you're first developing the, the keybind system or whatever, they're usually fairly trivial to include. But if you wait until later, it can be a lot harder.
You've developed everything around like these buttons.
Well, around those buttons, and also like programmatically, you might have hard coded some shit in there and stuff. Which is not ideal, but all right. I believe you can kill this brain on this attempt for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
This is the one.
But yeah, like as good as Spider-Man is on some accessibility things, there are a lot of fucking buttons in that game, and you can't change a single one of them.
Right.
I'm sure there are like other concerns for why that doesn't always happen, especially in first-party titles, like or games that are on one system in general, like exclusives. You're about to run out of jetpack, and I think you're close to the edge. Okay. Here's the question. How the hell are you going to get over to... Oh, you can get there. Oh, you killed him. I didn't even see.
Yeah, I at least got rid of him.
I think if you long jump and then do it, if you R1 and then L1, you could probably do it. Oh, wait, what? How'd it go back up to 25?
I think it actually auto charges to 25.
Oh, yeah, that's right, it does. I'm remembering now. It actually does do that. Probably so you don't, like, get yourself fucked over by, going on an island. That makes sense. Well, the shield is blocking it. Ooh, will he dance behind the shield? He did, but then he died to the proton drum, so we didn't.
That's interesting.
Didn't see. Do you notice the turrets now dancing?
Oh, yes!
So good.
Anything to shoot here?
I don't think so. I think you maybe could have used this on that brain. But there is something in the center there, other than a lava pit. Well, I was just saying you might want to just wait until the lava stops.
Damn.
A gold bolt! Yeah, I'm sure that, like, I'm not sure, but I would wager a guess, an educated guess, that for some, like, console exclusive games... Oh, you have 20 brains, you can go back.
Yeah. Should I just go back?
I think you should just go back. I'll just, like, spoil it because it's going to tell you in a second anyways.
Gold bolt.
No, there's like, well, maybe, but there's a shitload of brains. There's like 100 brains or something, if not more. And I think that's a little out of scope of this playthrough.
Yeah.
Plus, you could always come back if you wanted to. Like, if you change your mind, you're like, no, I'm having a lot of fun with the jetpack thing. I want to go back and do it more.
Sure, yeah.
You could always come back.
I'll say both the boots and the hover have been fun.
Yeah.
They've done a good job making everything just feel good.
Yeah. But yeah, I assume with like console exclusives, there is probably some stuff. Nice. There you go. 21 braids.
Hell yeah. Now he's super owes me.
There is some stuff, I'm sure, where like they probably have required like guidelines around they want to make sure they want a unified play experience across multiple games on their consoles. You know? Sure. Like how X and A are always like select.
Right.
Like X on PlayStation controllers, A on other controllers. Are always like select the option. Yeah. I'm sure some of that,
at least in the West.
And nowadays, most of that is just, that's how every game developer wants it to be, just like everybody else. But,
accessibility. Yeah.
But I'm sure part of that is also actually mandated by consoles, like by Sony or Nintendo or Microsoft.
Securing safe passage for our harvesters. Case in point, the Star Watch.
But I still think that every game should include the ability to rebind buttons.
100% agree.
Has been protecting the galaxy from invasions ever since we were first.
Well, it's such a thing now to like bind to have 18 buttons on a controller, and there's like 4 things you need to do, and somehow they share the same button.
Again, Nintendo. Nintendo is really the only one that does that.
I love Mario Odyssey, but sometimes I'm like, why can't I not mix up backflipping and long jumping and diving, because they all use Z with like a Y of some sort.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Nintendo's like the only one that does that, but they do it all the fucking time. And part of it's, I think they want to like have, it's a game that you can play with 2 buttons, like it's an NES game or something, or a game with 4 buttons, like a SNES game. You could play it on one Joy-Con horizontally with your friends or whatever. And it's just like, man, that's so annoying for Tropical Freeze, how you slap the ground with X and you roll with X in a direction. Like, it'd be so much better if you could just bind those things to different buttons.
So the 60 brains now is like optional.
I think this is optional. Yeah, what was he going to give you? What's in there? Oh, yeah, now he'll give you bolts for every brain.
And that's
then
to get
that is an X. I don't know what that is. Actually, don't remember. Maybe hit start and open up the mission list or something. Oh yeah, trade brains for bolt. Okay, I think you get something if you like give him all of them. Something extra on top of just all the bolts. But yeah, pretty much every Ratchet and Clank game, at least in the original trilogy, I don't know if this like this after that, but they would all include a thing that you could get 99 or so of a thing and trade them for bolts.
Oh, okay.
This is this game's version of it, which I actually don't know if the original first game had this, but critical cores. Each missile contains a core to increase the size of its explosion. Nice. Bigger explosions for Predator launcher.
Alright.
You want to use those last two on something?
Sure, let's upgrade something.
Oh, wait, you can get the plasma
We can
striker.
buy this fucking thing.
Cool. Buy it.
Bam.
Just shoot it once or something after, yeah, go ahead and upgrade something and then.
Well, sure, you buddy.
Cool.
All that's
There you go. Done. All right. Plasma striker. You want to use it like once and then we'll call it an episode. Hold L2. Yeah, so R3 will zoom. So clicking in the right stick will zoom once you are holding L2 or L1 or
I'm
whatever.
just holding
the fuck it is.
L2.
L2, yeah, okay. So now right click or clicking the right stick, it'll increase the zoom.
Oh, and there's three
Yeah.
different levels of it. I
So
see.
it's a sniper rifle.
Cool.
So if you hold triangle, how do you actually switch between... Okay, there you go. L1 and R1 switch you between two pages of weapon wheels.
Okay.
There you go.
You got everything up there. All right.
With that exciting development, we're going to go ahead and call it an episode. We'll see you guys on the next episode of On the Couch.
See you soon, man.
Drums, 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 yeah, drums, yeah, drums.
As a drummer, I'm crying right now.